Hello. Let's go. We don't need a start screen. We don't need it. What the heck? It's so dark. There we go. What up, everybody? What up, everybody? We're dual streaming right now. We're on the YouTube and the Twitch. So if you find that your chat is dead, just move over to the other one. It's real simple. It's a shame that there isn't like a plugin or something. A shame that Twitch doesn't allow you to show the stream chat for all chats. You sound a bit different. What I miss? I think my mic is broken. So you're just going to have to put up with the broken mic, folks. I think it's the cable on my mic is broken. I haven't got a new one yet, so I think my mic is completely dead. You sounded deeper, but it's fine. Yeah. You're going to have to put up with the broken mic, I think. I think it's broken. I think it's just the cable. We were messing with it last time. Hold on. Hold your ears. How are we? Are we normal now? Evening, Pineapple, Pudnik, Gav, Majd, As Mist, All Lucille, Pudnik, Featherwalk, Visca Goo, Mikado, hello. Drop the mic, bro. Broken mic, Pog, yes. Yeah, the mic's broken. So we're just going to jump straight into this. No waffling. No waffling. We're just going to jump straight into it. We got a bunch to get through, I imagine. I can't remember where we got up to last time. Let's have a look. Shall we? Hope everyone's doing well. Feedback Friday time. Let's go. No waffles, skip the breakfast, exactly. Just jump straight into it. Again, I'll probably do about an hour and a half or something. I would like to finish my video at some point. I've been terrible at working on it, but we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. What up, Juho? What up, Baksit? What up, Befriendo? Hello. So where do we get? Man, there's so many to get through. I might have to lock this up. Might have to lock this up at some point. I think you can get the Discord link by just typing this. Hopefully it pops in. What's going on, C. Sadie? How you doing? Is it going to work? Are you sick or tired? I'm not. I think I am just broken mic. My mic is broken. My mic is broken. I think it's the cable of my mic. Daniel, what's going on? First time popping on your stream. Love your videos. Thank you very much. Would lock it probably. I don't know how to lock it, which is the problem. If I lock it, it's going to lock the general feedback section, which I don't want to do because people use general feedback for general feedback, not Feedback Friday. So I might create a separate channel just for Feedback Friday submissions, but that's a bit confusing. But either way, it is getting flooded. I guess we can skip some of them, which are like similar. We're just gonna have to go through them quickly. Okay. We were there last time. We looked at that. We're here now. Running animation. Let's go. So if anyone doesn't know what's going on, what if you make a pinned post that says please don't post and delete post if someone does? It's a lot to manage because it's a lot to manage. Pinned posts, people don't usually see them. It would be a lot of explaining. We'd get new viewers in who would just try and jump on. It just wouldn't work. I think let's just keep going. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but we have the opposite problem. We used to have the problem where no one would show up and we'd get no submissions. And then it would be like, okay, what do I do? I've got a Feedback Friday and there's no submissions. This time we actually have a bunch of submissions, which is good. So it's not a huge problem. It just means it's going to take a while to get to your work, basically. So this person, Cozy Dozy, your voice is like Liam Neeson from... Is it that broken? If it's that broken, I might just end the stream, honestly. If it is that broken, I might just end the stream. I can't hear it myself. Let me preview it. Let me preview it, because if it is broken, I'm just going to end it, I think. And just wait until I get a fix. Let me have a look. Let me see. Fine. I can't even hear it now. Testing, testing, testing. Okay, strange. I wonder if I do this. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Think that might fix it. Or not. I don't know. Whatever. Well, let's just go ahead with this. It didn't sound that bad. It didn't sound that bad when I listened to the preview, so let's just go ahead with it. I think the issue last time I had was that the cable was broken, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Who cares? Let's just get on with it. Okay, I'm just wondering if this looks alright. Yield Monk, hey Soul, how's your health? Not bad, thanks, Yield Monk. It's fine just a bit deeper, but it's totally fine. Maybe my voice is just deeper. Maybe I've finally hit puberty. Anyway, I'm just wondering if this looks alright. Looks fine. There we go. Done. Next. I think just depends what you're going for, right? Just depends what you're going for. I think overall the animation is fine. It's readable as like a run. I'm sure it would look fine on a game. What could you do to improve it? I'm not sure. It really depends about style. The legs are quite long. The character looks quite long in the legs, but maybe that's what you're going for. Maybe that's what the character looks like. It's quite a simple design. It's quite a simple animation. I don't think you really need to do much. I think the only thing that looks a little odd is the feet kind of come out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, and one of them just flashes, so maybe a little bit of inconsistency with the actual... Maybe a little bit of inconsistency with the actual legs of the animation and the size of the animation, but other than that, it's pretty good. Seems pretty good to me. Does it get deeper every 13 years? Imagine. That'll be kind of cool. But other than that, it looks fine. Next. Let's move on. Quickly. We're going to blast through these today. There's nothing I really need to share. Why is it doing that? Stop doing that. But I hope everyone else is... I hope everyone's week's been okay. Mine's been okay. Pretty chill. Pretty chill. I'd like to finish this damn video eventually. I just find that I'm doing too much maybe. Maybe I gotta like stop everything and just focus on the video at some point. Where are we? Here. Where the fuck? I'm so lost. There should be a way to solve it. Right click it and then get rid of it. Thanks for the videos. They really helped me get rid of it. Hey, no worries, Weak Cheeks. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching. So we've seen that one. On to this one. Cat in a box. Help a cat friend to reach the top, trying to avoid all the falling boxes. The game was made in exactly 15 hours. Try the game and enjoy the game for mobile. Okay, we're not on mobile. Okay, it's downloadable. We can't play it. We don't play downloadable games. On to the next one. However, let's just give some comments, some feedback, I guess. Art-wise, it looks pretty good. You've got a lot of mixels going on. But again, mixels don't necessarily mean anything. It just means that you haven't got a consistent pixel size across, whether that's what you went for or not, or whether it was just something you didn't even realize that is a thing. The character's a little bit hard to see. I think that's because of the mixels. Because you have thick outlines on all of the surrounding objects, yet your character has really thin outlines. I would personally try and keep the pixel sizes consistent, because then you can, because if you're not in control of your contrast, then you know what I mean. You're not in control of your contrast. If you just allow yourself to work in a bunch of different styles, you're not controlling the contrast too well. And controlling the contrast for game art is obviously very, very important, because you want to be able to make things stand out that are super important, like characters, for example. Now, it is good that these are thick because they're obviously falling down from the sky, so that would be good. They could either use the outlines or just match the pixel size. Yeah, I think, honestly, I think if they just match the thick outline, the character would stand out fine. I don't think they'd need to really do anything else. If I just do this, it's obviously very rough, but there you go. You now have a consistent art style and the character stands out. Easy. Is 2023 September compilation coming time anytime soon? No, I'm not making a video on it. I don't know if you're here for the September celebration stream. We did a celebration stream, but I'm not going to be making a video. I mentioned it there. I'm not going to be making a video of a 2023 September compilation because I don't have the time, basically. I don't have the time. When I was doing the previous September videos, I was working just full-time art, basically. Full-time art on YouTube. And I had the time to make those types of videos, but I don't have the time anymore. I work. I work and I have to focus. Even the streams take up quite a lot of time. Maybe the character's color. Yeah, I mean, probably not super necessary because the shapes are so different. You know? The shapes are super different. You know? The shapes are so different. The style is very different. Everything else is square. I don't really think you need to change it up that much. I think it would work just like that. I think that's enough. I think that's enough to make it stand out. But it looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool nonetheless. I would like to play it. I like the idea of the game as well. I think that's a really unique idea. I don't think I've seen anything like that where you're essentially playing Tetris trying not to die. I do wonder if there are moments where it's impossible, you know? I do wonder if there are moments when it's impossible, but probably not. I'd imagine it is coded in a way which doesn't allow impossible configurations or something. But it looks cool. If anyone wants to play it, you can. I'm not going to download it personally. I don't play downloadable games on stream. I followed the A-Sprite tutorial, made some donuts, but had an issue with the gradient background. The dithering just wouldn't work. Couldn't find anything online about it. Hold on. Hope you have a good stream. Thank you. The dithering. What was your issue with the dithering? What was going on? Do you definitely have two colors selected in the bottom left? Make sure one of them isn't just transparent, because if it's transparent then you won't get any dithering. Or you'll get like mad dithering or something. Make sure you have two colors selected. And make sure it's not transparent. Select your thing and then just drag. And just click and drag and you should be good. On the help section, let's have a look. Let's help you out. Let's help you out before we move on to the next one. I'm going to just write in here, I don't play downloadable games, but commented on the artwork. Could be the transparent thing. Let's have a look. In the questions section, tablet for PC, A-Sprite problem. Trying to make a background for my art using the gradient tool. I want to have dithering on, but whenever I select, for example, I move my mouse over the canvas, it deselects it. I want to see what's going on. Okay, so there's your mouse. Select 2 by 2. Yeah, I don't know why it's like glitching out like that. I've never seen that before. That seems like a bug. Have you tried updating your A-Sprite to the latest version? Because mine just, it's not the transparent thing because you have it, not the transparent thing because you already have that. Like it just lets me choose them, you know what I mean? Perhaps try and do it on a eraser tool. I mean, it's not on the eraser tool because you only get the dithering option when you're on the dithering. So, where the fuck is the dithering thing here? You only get the dithering thing on the dithering tool. So they're on the dithering tool. It's just not working for them. Maybe try a new layer because the layer that you were on yours was on a donut layer. Maybe try doing it on a different layer. I don't know if that will help. Or perhaps you have something, a keybind set wrong or something like that. Perhaps you've keybinded something which makes it look off or whatever. Give it a shot anyway. You have to from Steam, but it's really weird. Could be a locked layer. It's not locked. I know it's not a locked layer. I can see the layer on the thing. It's simply just a it run one donut layer. Have you made a selection anywhere, perhaps? Maybe try clearing a selection. Like, you know when you make a selection like this? Maybe that's going to lock it out. Like if I try and do the now, maybe, what is it, double G or GG or something? No, it doesn't change it for me. It seems to work fine for me. Can't really seem to get the same issue that you're having, unfortunately. You could probably try sending your file in the help section and people could open your file and have a look. Because maybe it's your version and not anything else. That looked kind of cool, actually. Yeah, the count. I know, I'm blocking it. My bad. Just switches immediately when I go on the canvas. I'll try some stuff when I get home. Well, best of luck. Hopefully you get that sorted. You can just, if you want, upload your file to the help thing, and we can check it out as well at another time. Okay, cool. Next up, let's go, shall we? Where are we at? Let's find. Please answer, said Phantom Rush. Hello, I mean hello. Hello, Phantom Rush. Okay, cool. Next up, Pixelate. I'm just looking for general feedback on anything to improve colors, perspective, proportions. Okay, let's have a look. Overall looks really cool, I think. You've got to put a feedback Friday tag. You're going to have to right-click, update that thing. His face looks, this is what Juho said. His face looks very flat for far away. I mean, it couldn't be an actual character design choice, but actually seems like you want to hint a little nose on there. Also, the mouth is also not noticeable. I'll just make it slightly darker. So I like the style. I'm not trying to get the nose in, so I wasn't really going for one here. But coming back to it, I see how you mean. It looks like I tried to get one there. Mouth can definitely be darker for more contrast on the face. Yeah, I agree with what Juho said, really. The nose, that's just a style choice, the nose. But I can see how it looks like. It looks like the head is basically doing this. And again, that is just a style choice. I mean, do what you want. Do what you want with that. You can make it not or not, you know. Obviously, it's not going to look regular, like regular proportions, but that's what it looks like. You could also just make them bald. Right, anyway. Feedback. As for feedback, I think if this is just a character design, it's pretty cool. If you're intending to use this on a game, I can't imagine anything more complicated to animate. So that's just a word of warning if you're planning to animate this thing. That's all I would say is be careful because you have so many intricate details here. The little patchwork on the back, the hair colors. You've got about 1 million different hair colors. You've got this crazy intricate pattern on the shield or whatever that is. It seems like some sort of shield or punching mittens or something. The perspective is quite nice. The shading seems a little off. I would maybe, to help the depth a little bit more, I would perhaps push, this is just a style choice as well, but I would perhaps push this entire back leg into shadow. I know it's not technically in shadow, but I would perhaps push that a bit back, just so it gives a sense of depth. You could probably still also have the light. The light that you have here doesn't really make sense as well, because your light source is from there, right? Your light source is from here, because everything on this side is lit. But your leg has a backlight here, which just doesn't make sense. You should probably try and fix that, because this leg is on a plane, right? This leg here, front leg is there, and this leg is here. If you imagine there being a square and you're looking at it from a top-down perspective almost, one foot is here and the other foot is here. So you're not getting any cast shadow from the leg, really. You know, you're not really getting any cast shadow because the cast shadow would be here and not on the leg. So perhaps I would fix that and sort that out. It doesn't necessarily mean that it would be dark. It just means that the positioning of your lighting would be the same, basically. Position of your lighting would be the same. I mean, there might be some darkness here in like the connecting area or whatever. But for the most part, it would follow the same shading rules, because it's not actually on a different it's on a different level in terms of like where it is and where the light is 3D. What up, Dom? How are you doing today? Here it comes, reference. The other thing I'd probably mention is like similar pixel colors. So this is kind of a style choice, but also kind of something which we see a lot, is when you have colors which are so close together, they almost become pointless, you know? They almost aren't adding anything, which is strange because these colors are actually very different from each other. But the way that they are here, maybe it's just a value thing. Let me have a look at the values. They seem very close. It could be one of those art tricks, yeah. That's strange. I think it's because they're not directly next to each other. When these colors are next to each other directly, there's a lot of value contrast, or there's more value contrast. But when they're separated by a dark value, it doesn't look like there's much value contrast between them, which is funny. That's a funny art little trick there, isn't it? Same here, you've got like a bunch of reds going on. This is just a style choice, really. Like, how many reds do you want? How are you going to make the reds? Like, you have a bunch of colors. It can help sometimes to simplify colors, but again, style choice. What if you want that many colors, you can have that many colors. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But if it comes to something like animation, you're gonna cry, I think. Good to animate this character. I would cry. If I was given the assignment to animate this character, I would quit, I think. I would quit. Originally, I was used the same reds from the jacket, but you wanted to differentiate the hair more. I can see that, and I can see how the shadows here become a little bit cooler because of these additions. But I don't think it differentiates it too much. I mean, it's still basically the same. I do actually quite like this lower value that you've got. The lower colors, because it does seem to push it. Oh, it seems to push it as if it looks like a mullet or something, right? Which is kind of cool, actually. What's going on, Superior W? Hello. Let's say do something like put a pixel art filter over a bone animation character. Yeah, but that would probably look like trash because of the amount of intricate details. The amount of intricate details in this. If you put a bone character, if you do bones animation with this, all of this is just going to look so messy. You know what I mean? It's just going to look so messy and horrible. Outside of outlines, I like using the base one color and 1, 2 other colors for outlines. I don't really shade and instead use the same colors. Yeah, it's just a style choice though, ultimately, isn't it? It's supposed to be shaved on the side of the head or less hair anyway. I like that. I think that's cool. I think that's a cool style. What's going on, Mio staff? I'm doing well, thanks. How are you doing? Okay. Let's move on. But overall, it's a very cool character design, very intricate, and that's really cool to see. I think you've done a great job. So keep it up. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Let's go. Appreciate the tips, no problem. So, Peaky Blinders. This was a redrawing. You can't see it. This was a redrawing of a reference image or studying, as you call it in the stream. Yes, it's a study. I can't draw like that from memory, sadly. I believe this is the image I used as reference. Part of the mouth was covered by the hand, so I had to imagine the rest. People are talking about canvas size, one of the first pixel drawings. Okay, cool. One thing I think could help from this, I guess it just depends on when you're doing a study. This one's mine. What up, you old monk? So when you're doing a study, right, there are a lot of different things you can focus on or not focus on. So let's just put these together so you can see them. There are a lot of things you can focus on or not focus on. So what you've seemed to have focused on a lot here is the shapes, general shapes, not so much the lighting. Because if you look at the light in here, you get a very strong, very strong values here. Whereas in your piece, you've gone more, you've averaged it out a bit more, you've made it more lighter. It's more of a cartoony version with everything being much lighter, which is fine. You don't have to always focus on every element of art during a study, you know. But I guess I would ask you what you were focusing on here. I guess it was mainly just the character, mainly the character design. Overall, it's pretty good, I'd say. You've done a good job. This is a difficult angle to draw. This is a difficult angle to draw because you're essentially trying to draw the head tilted downwards, right? I mean, that's exactly what you're trying to draw. You're trying to draw a head tilted downwards, and because of that, when a head is normally drawn front on, or front on like this, and you have the details of the face, I'm just going to do this roughly, and you see all of that. You have the ears, you know, you have the eyes, the nose, the mouth, you know. When you have all of this, and then you tilt the head, you're essentially shortening all of those lines. So getting in all that detail, and you're drawing it from a different plane. You know, this is like extremely moved forward, so the hat would be like even further up on this drawing, but it's a very difficult thing to do. I guess I focused just on the similarity, like copying the human anatomy, but in pixel art. Okay, so let's talk about the anatomy a little bit then. That was your focus. So I would say overall pretty good. Proportionally a bit off. The one quick way to check your proportions is just compare your lengths with, compare your shapes, just basic shapes. Ignore the fact that it's a hat. I can see you've got like loads of shading going on in the hat, and you've got a shading going on the face, but the first step, I think, is for any kind of drawing is to ignore the subject matter almost. Ignore what it is. Ignore that it's a person. Ignore that it's anatomy, and just focus on basic shapes. You know what I mean? And that's going to help you nail down the proportions. So if I was going to draw this again, if we were just going to draw on top of this, what shapes have we got? We got triangle. I'll just put a triangle for the face, and a rectangle like that, and a big circle for the hat, and this is a rectangle. And that's going to give me the basic proportions. Yeah, you can see that now. You can compare all of the different shapes. Whereas yours has quite a long jaw. Quite a long jaw and a very, very short body in comparison. Very small body in comparison, and a massive hat. So you can see just from the distribution of these things, like if I just remove both of these and I put yours on here, if I try and line up the faces, for example, notice how it all of a sudden your proportions are off. You know, your proportions are a little off. Maybe you started well with the head, and then the hat was too small, and then the body was too small. So if you're trying to get it like exact, then always observe. Use observational drawing to try and match that. Second thing is your lighting. So anatomy wise, I think you've done a really good job of, I really like the way that you've added the shading in these areas. Like you've recognized that on this image here, we've got shading in the cheekbones, down here from the nose to the mouth, where the what's that called? I can't remember what that's called. But that part of the mouth usually protrudes in most faces. It looks like a mask, basically. And you've done that. I think that's really cool. I think you've identified that. What I'd like to have seen, I think, if you're trying to study this, the biggest thing I think from the light and shadow is just how much contrast there is. If you struggle to find values or form in your work, just squint your eyes. Just squint your eyes. Small interpretations can have a huge impact. Yeah, they can indeed. What up, Dementia Man? How you doing? I'm doing pretty well. How are you? What up, Swan Song? Head's a bit big. The hat's a little big too. Yeah. So what I would probably do, you could, because what this image is really good and it has really nice dramatic lighting. So I would probably push that a little bit more on this image. Probably push that more. Push the shadow really into darkness. The hat is nicely translated into single shapes. Yeah, I agree. I think you've done a good job of getting some base shapes. I just think you're missing out a bit on the atmosphere and a bit on the overall like dramatic nature of this image by not pushing the shadows as much as you possibly could have, you know. It's going to look messy to start with. It's cool though. I would never say anything is wrong about Tommy Shelby. I value my life too much. Tommy Shelby is a character on a TV show. So I don't mind. And obviously the hat would be a bit further down, wouldn't it? And the lips. With your lips, you haven't really, you've kind of just gone for the pillow shading thing, but if you actually look at the lips here, you have one dark upper lip and then a lit lower lip like that. So perhaps that's something to think about. And the reason it's doing that is because of the bottom lip is facing upwards, you know. Bottom lip is facing upwards. And the coat is actually much, much darker. When you're doing a study, don't be afraid, especially because you're learning, right? When you're doing a study, don't be afraid to pick colors from the study as well, unless you're trying to get it as close as possible by just using your own. I wouldn't be afraid to do that because you'll learn quickly. You'll learn more quickly the relationships between things, the relationships between the colors used, you know? Probably even push that even more. Yeah, it's pretty good. You've done a pretty good job overall, I'd say. I'd say keep it up. Keep it up. Main tips are watch your proportions. Watch your proportions and watch your lighting, but your shapes are pretty nice. Did you watch Peaky Blinders? Not all of it. I've seen a lot of it. Seen a lot of it, but not finished it. Not finished all of it. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Next up, Shop Animation MP4. Let's check this out. This is by Pixel Art Noob 42. We've seen this one. Whoa. Hold on. Welcome to Butcher's Shop. Are you going to buy this T-bone steak? Are you going to buy this lamb leg? This is cool. This is a beautiful style. Pork belly. New item acquired. This is great. I don't actually have any feedback for this. I think this is a beautiful style. Beautiful style, really well rendered. I especially love the hair and the little lighting, and especially the meat as well. Look at the detail in the meat and the items here. This is really cool. The font is custom and very nice. I think this is just a very nicely made piece of work. I don't have any feedback really. Just keep making more. Keep making more work. I like the little details in the animation. Did the meat just blink? It did, yeah. I'm just going to say beautiful. Spoken. No feedback here. Let's keep it up. Yeah, looks great. Next up, logo design by Juho. I know Juho's in the building. Okay, I'm trying to make a vector logo of my OC for my profile picture on YouTube. Which one works better, left or right? Any criticism or feedback is great. I guess you've went for one because we can see it in your thing, but let's just go through it anyway. I haven't used inverted line art thing anywhere else, so maybe it's off. What do you think? Here's the old one as reference. I made a variant. Yeah, I do feel like this one is the best. Definitely. I like the cutouts. I think that looks really cool. You vectorize the final result. Yeah, looks cool. Nice and simple. Nice and simple, readable from a distance, as we can see with the small sized here. I think you've done a great job. I mean, what feedback do we need to give? Nothing really. I think you've done a good job. Very cool. Very nice. Very unique. Next up. Thanks for sharing, Juho. You like the left one? Yeah. I think the cutout works a lot. I think it's cool. Why did you change the colors in the end? I quite liked your red. Quite liked your red colors here. What made you decide to close it, change it? The eyes are very Discord-like. They are actually, aren't they? They do look a little bit like the Discord logo. The new pink is a bit too strong. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, the pink is just a bit too saturated. And I think it's cutting... it was always that pink. The red was just an inaccurate thing on the sketch. Okay. If you're happy with it, that's fair. I just think it feels a little too saturated. Wonder how saturated it is. It's supposed to be saturated. Got you. Fair enough. If you're happy with it, there you go. Style choice, right? Galaxy final design, probably. Let's check it out. Bloody hell. You can see this one could only feel for a similar time a few months ago if you want. No, we're good. I took a bit of critiques from like 3 or 4 months ago when we looked at the character. I remember. Then I redesigned her a lot. I'll post her designs from latest to earliest on here just so you can compare. Feed context again, she's the main character of the game. I'm planning and stuff. Right now, it's just me planning and having fun making characters and doing a bunch of writing. Scroll to the end, the thing I need for the feedback there is for. Let's just go through these. Nice iteration, I'll say. Very, very nice iteration. Whenever it comes to character designs, like, I think that's really key, isn't it? Going through different steps. Very cool. So did you say that you didn't think they stood out? Your experiment with colors and shapes. This one's also on previous Feedback Friday. One before that. Kind of first design ever. Nice. Her too. Yeah, I like the gooey one. The gooey one is cool. The hair is their arm. That's a sick. I didn't even notice that initially. Right now when we're looking at it, that's a sick design. Very, very nice. Talking about the smiley characters, got you. Yeah, I think this is nice. Feedbacks I need are the designs clean, as in not too difficult to understand? I think so. I don't think you've... Arif, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate you. I think the designs are nice and simple, you know? I don't think you've gone overboard with detail, which is great. A lot of the shapes are really big. A lot of the shapes are really big and readable and understandable. You also have a lot of interesting shapes in there, like the shape of the dress here, for example, and the tail. And the fact that that's kind of continued throughout the piece, like with the horn, the ears, the hand, that kind of spiky shape is continued. So you have a lot of consistency throughout the design. That's something which I think is really hard to do, like balancing shapes. Balancing shapes in character design is really difficult, but you've done a really good job. I think this looks sick. Looks really cool. I don't really have much feedback. What else? Are the personalities obvious on their designs? Do they go well together? Galaxy stands out more than the rest since she's the main character and the two are like followers. Yeah, that's fine. Stand out more? I think so. The fact that these two are green, I don't know if this is what... yeah, both green. That's what Juho said. I think because these two are green, and if you notice here, this character has main primary shape is like rounded shapes. This character's primary shape is a lot of spikes, and that's consistent throughout, whereas this one has a bit more of a balance of all round shape and square because of the dress design as well. So I think this, I don't know if that was intentional, but it seems to be intentional because it does stand out. Yeah, I think this is cool, Visca. I think you're doing a great job. Excuse me, wrong one. Wrong button. Let's move on. Very nice. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Hype in the chat. Hype in the chat for Visca. Let's go. Looking for general tips on Space Cadet. Very Pokemon-y and nice, definitely. So, looking for general tips. Let's have a look. What position was better beforehand? I see. I also moved the arm a bit far left. I think it was better how it was before. Juho's got some nice tips here. I think it was just, yeah, I mean, I agree with what Juho said. Easy win. Follow the silhouettes. There you go. Good silhouette is clear poses. Right, there's some tips for you, folks. There's some tips for you. Right, next up. Ye Olde Monk. Sorting things out. Is playable? It is playable. Hype. Check this out. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so a small game about sorting clothes. Can you do it fast enough? Can you get the highest score? First ever almost complete project, so please don't judge too harshly. I'm going to judge incredibly harshly. That said, any constructive feedback is always welcome. WSD pad for gameplay, mid-level controls on the screen. Got you. Bam, 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 bam. Made with G develop. Let's go. Where's England? Where's English? Which one's English? Yeah, I can't play this game. Can't play this game. Sorry, you old monk. I don't know any of these languages. I don't know American. I don't know American, and I don't know, what is that? Russian? that Russian? I might have got that wrong. I don't know maps. I don't know American and I don't know Russian. Where's the English option? No problem. Let's go with American. Okay, cool. American is not English. Yeah, American is... America, credit card, burger. That's American. If my friend, you speak Russian, let's go. Hard to draw the English flag, sorry. All good. All good, ye old monk. Okay, first bit of feedback before I even jump into the game is this. Spotted this straight away, and I'm not going to be brutal, but I'm just going to share what I think. Which one do I click on? Which one do I click on? Which one do I click on? I know which one it is because of the text. It's endless mode, right? But you can do some things with your UI to make the option that you want stand out. Hell yeah, whoop whoop. There's no English, there's American and British. Hi Soul, hi chat, what's going on Lich Bones, how are you doing today? There's also lack of logo. Yeah, that's fine. Logo would be nice here, but what I'm mainly talking about is your visual hierarchy. I mentioned this in my game art video. If you're not familiar, watch my game art video. But visual hierarchy is very important when it comes to elements, UI elements, everything. It's just important for everything. Like I would probably make this bigger, and I would probably also call it play as well, because there is no other mode. There is only endless mode. You know, there's no other endless mode. So there is no other mode, at least that I know of. So chuck your play there. Quit. You don't want the people to quit, so make that smaller. What's important? Options is important. How to play is important. Maybe we put that over options actually. You know? Oops. Leaderboards, I think they're like secondary. I'm going to pop them there. Not important for the game. Credits, I also think credits are like secondary. I'm going to pop them there. There you go. Now you have a more clear hierarchy of what you want the player to do. It's not perfect. This was just one. There's just one way to do that, obviously. There you go. You want the player to play. And obviously some sort of thing if it's like a selection menu. Let's play. How do you play? Or you want to know how to play first? Click on that one. You know what I mean? Or perhaps you should check if it's their first time playing and just automatically when they click play, this one plays first. You know what I mean? So that if it's their first time, there you go. It's been a while since I caught a stream. How have they been going? So pretty good, thanks Martian. How are you doing today? I guess it would be better if you even remove the quit button. Yeah, you don't even need the quit button, really. Just let them Alt F4. Don't give them the option to remove game time from you. There you go. Leaderboard, credits. Simple. Easy peasy. So that's the first thing I would say. Just check out your hierarchy. Now let's go play. Endless mode. Sort by color. Red. What? Oh, like if it's a color, it goes up. Got you. Time's up. Wow, okay. Let's try again. So, by type. Okay. New mode. What the heck? That's not pants. Look like pants to me. You should have pressed how to play. It should have popped up first. I should not have pressed it. I just want to play. Okay. So, by color. Got you. Perfect. Let's go. And block Alt F4, exactly. You need references for this game? I have loads of socks that need sorting. Here we go. My brain feels like I'm doing chores. I don't want to do chores right now. Difficult to tell between shorts. Difficult to tell between shorts and underwear. Sort by flavor. Sort by smell. Vimlock said that grey should be with black. The reason I put grey not with black is because grey isn't black. I don't think grey should be with black, actually. I don't think grey should be with black. I don't think it should be with white. And I also don't think it should be with the colour. To be honest with you. I don't think it should be with either of them. But the one that it makes the most sense is it's not black and it's not white. So it has to go with colour. Because it's an in-between at least. There you go. Let's check out the leaderboards. Nice. Best score, me. So, black and white are shades of grey. No, black is black and white is white and grey is in between. I'm not going to get into semantics. Grey does not look white and grey does not look black. If we're doing this and then this, you know what I mean? If we're looking at this, hold on. If we're looking at a game which is asking you to sort between colors. Oh, I shouldn't have done black. Hold on. And you go that and that, and you give me that. The middle one goes in neither of these. It goes in a mid-tone option. It goes in its own option. It's also not a color. Especially because your color wheel doesn't show any grays. At least that I don't see. Let me have a look at the color wheel again, I forget. I need to find it. Hold on. Oh, nice. I broke the game. Check this out. So you can kind of drive them away. And look, for some reason now, just by spamming the buttons, I've gotten to this like strange menu broken system where I'm now just like flinging clothes around everywhere. You had an interview 4 weeks ago and I got the job now. Let's go, Juho. What's the new job? Big hype. So there's some bugs with the game, obviously. Moving things, no worries. Grey is a hue of black. Grey is a shade of white. Bloody hell. Grey is not black or white. That's all. That's in the context of this game. In the context of this game, grey is not black or white. That's what I think. And it's also not on here. It might be actually because you've got white in the middle. So it goes here. Grey is black but lighter. Yeah, and white but darker. Grey is grey. If you get grey in the game, you have to quit. Another thing I'd mention with a game like this is color games. Color games are... Color games are difficult to make because what if someone is colorblind? Do you have a colorblind option? I don't know what percentage of the world is colorblind. What percentage of gamers are colorblind, I wonder. Get ready for a little maths. Average population percentage of around 4.5%. 5% of women are colorblind. 1 in 20 men, 1 in 200 women. 6 to 10% of the male population. Colorblind is difficult. because usually what you can do is create like a texture version, like patterns. Patterns is a bit simpler to do than color, because I've thought about making a color game before and I've had to think about that, you know. That's obviously the same pattern, but if you do something like stripes versus spots or something, maybe you could have like a colorblind mode like that. Gray is an intermediate color between black and white. It is a neutral and achromatic color, meaning literally that it is without color. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say that gray was black or white. It definitely isn't. Like, that is black, that is gray, that is white. You know, this does not equal this. That does not equal that. I don't know what Vimlock's smoking. I'm just messing. Vimlock's cool, but I disagree. Just flip a coin. It's 33.33% chance you're right. Yeah. Overall, it's pretty good. Not bad for your first finished game. You managed to get a little leaderboard thing going on. You got name submissions. You got different mini games. I think that's really cool. I think it's really cool, you old monk. Really, I know you said not to judge too harshly, but whenever someone says don't judge too harshly, I feel like I have to judge harshly. Just remove the gray. Yeah, exactly. Just remove the gray. That's a really good solution there. Remove the gray and only have certain colors. Or patterns, you know. Hey, someone didn't know you stream on YouTube. Love your videos, especially your pic. Oh, thanks a lot, Quisty. Appreciate you. Welcome on in. Well, yeah, I stream on YouTube. I stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're streaming on Twitch as well now. It's like multi-stream. I mainly just do art or game dev on the streams. And every Friday we do a Feedback Friday. So that's what this is. Copy and paste is the best thing ever made. Yes. Copy and paste is cool. Right. Let's move on. A very cool game, Yield Monk. I think you should be proud of that. I think you should be proud of that. You managed to finish a little game. You managed to make it look fairly polished, which is cool. I think you should keep it up. You should be proud of yourself. Glad it's both now. I was finally able to delete Twitch again. Robot card game. Have we already checked this out? I feel like I have, but I'm not sure. This is scary. My son and I just released our first game. Let's go, Angler Digital. You got this. Congratulations on releasing something. Feedback is frightening. It is, yeah. It is frightening. But it's how you improve, right? So embrace it. This is what I'm doing with my tiny robots. I really like some feedback on the card designs. I know the writing is a bit hard to read, but I want to turn this into a real card game. Okay, cool. Here we go. Bum, 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 bum. Let's have a look at their desktop first. What have they got going on? It's 3/24. This was on the 17th of the 11th. Wow, we're late. What they got open? They got Excel spreadsheet open. They got Discord. Opera. What the fuck? Who's using Opera? They got PureRef, nice. They got A-Sprite, nice. I don't know what that is. Is this Krita or something? Some sort of lime. Game Boy Studio hacking the ROMs. Hacking the ROMs. Oh my goodness. Illegal games. Construct 2. What is that thing? That looks like some sort of hack. That's hacking something. This is Movie Player. This is Green Pencil. Paint, obviously, must be files and folders. There we go. Computer systems. Very nice. Great feedback. Yeah, don't use Opera GX. There you go. Have you ever tried doing anything with music? I play guitar. I make music. Used to be in a band. I've done some digital music. I might just get someone else to do the music though. For Faceplant. I'm going to keep it nice and simple, Jiho. What I've realized with games now is just keep things simple, man. I'm a one-man band. I'm not going to overcomplicate things. Yeah, they did mention that they knew the text was hard to read, but that is obviously a huge issue, isn't it, Featherwalk? Like, the text is hard to read. So, if you want this to be... Oh, it's Psy Paint. You can't get it legally, so I think he pirated it. Oh, no. Okay, we got a pirate in the chat. Outing themselves. It's okay. Okay. So one thing I would say about these cards is your character designs, right? Your character designs are sick. They're actually amazing. Your character designs are actually amazing, but for some reason, you have put the most obnoxious card backgrounds next to them, which completely dilute that, especially from a distance. Like this one, this character is so cool. Like honestly, the silhouette, the colors, the style, amazing. Like absolutely incredible. But this grid-like background is giving me a headache. I think it's too much. I think the backgrounds don't need to be that distracting, because the main part of the art, as Visca says, the background should have been darker, less saturated, or less distracting. I agree. Because if we do something like this, notice how much more now that character just stands out. You don't need anything else. Too much contrast in the background. Yeah. Too much going on. You literally do not need anything else. That looks great. That looks great without it. You know? You could even have a different color. You could make it white or something. I don't know. Whichever one looks nicer. You could even just do something like this. If you wanted a little bit of texture there, you could just make it less, make it lower contrast so that the character stands out. You know? But even then, I don't even think you need that. I think just keeping it nice and flat. Maybe a repeating icon background with a lot of spacing between each icon, perhaps. Just depends. Yeah, that could work as long as it's just not high contrast. Because I think, like, this is kind of cool, but do you need the grid? That's what I would ask. Like, do you need the grid icon, the grid, like, spacing? I do like the shiny nature of that. It also flattens the character. It does flatten the character a little bit, yeah. It does flatten the character, but I just wonder, like, the most important thing for me is the readability and the design. Because the designs are so sick. How do I send something to get feedback? You pop it in the Discord channel. Or the grid. So you think the grid flattens the character out? I want to test that. I want to test that. Yeah, okay. I see what you mean. I wonder if we do like a gradient. Obviously you'd pixel that, but like, that looks ugly. We don't need a gradient. You don't need anything in the background, is what I think. I don't think you need anything in the background. I think the character stands out amazingly without the complicated backgrounds. Obviously the text is not very readable. We've just mentioned about accessibility, but somebody who dyslexic people will, like, I can barely read this, and if you're dyslexic, you're definitely not going to be able to read this. You know what I mean? If you want feedback, Canvas, you pop it in the Discord and the feedback channel. That's how it works, and we get to it eventually. We are blasting through them today. I think that's the same for all of these, really. That's the same for all of these. You've got some sick character designs. Like, if you made these characters, you should be mad proud. You should be mad proud of these character designs. The silhouettes are great. The designs are awesome. But you are killing them. You're killing them. You're killing them with that background. In my opinion. In my opinion. Anyway, I think they don't need a background. I want to play this game. Yeah, exactly. Me too. I made it this time. What up, Rudin? How you doing? Is this going to be an upcoming card game on PC? I guess so, yeah. If that's for a game, I think just hovering over the card could show you a bigger text explaining what they do rather than the 3x3 text. Yeah, that could be cool, yeah. You don't even need all of this tiny information because, I mean, try reading that. Quick, send this unit to the deck. Call better 1 or better 3 from the deck. Like, that's just so difficult to read, you know? You don't need any of that. Just simplify. Simplify, hover, easy win. Like, you don't need any. You could just have something like this. Same goes with these. Look at how sick these characters are. This is from that thing, Evangelion. Eva 13. Very cool. Even your background, these are sick as well. You got some cool designs. I think it's just mostly about what we were talking about before. So what we were talking about earlier in the stream, hierarchy. Visual hierarchy. Making the important things stand out. Character, the way that it looks needs to stand out. Obviously, the rarity is cool. I like that you actually have different designs for rarity, if that's what that shows off. I'm not sure. I didn't make the game, but having different designs for like basic versus shiny versus super shiny gold facing left because left is cool. You know what I mean? I like that, but maybe just balance the contrast a little bit so that we can actually see the characters. And like Visca said, if you are hovering over the card, maybe that's what shows more of the information. Maybe have a bigger attack defense text. Yeah, that would be a cool idea rather than the 5-10 thing being down there. So maybe we just have a smaller card, for example, that looks like that. Take this 25-15. 25-15, you know, whatever attack, defense, blah, blah, blah. Whatever crazy details you want to put in there. That way you can see, again, hierarchy, information hierarchy, what is more important, what isn't more important, what is less important. Also, don't forget to make the characters bold. I didn't see a single bold mech there, so disappointed. But very cool overall. Very cool overall. Let's move on. First character drawn from imagination. Let me take a quick drink here. Where do I post? You post it in the feedback channel. So we have a feedback channel here. And if you scroll to the top, well, if I scroll to the top, we ever get to the top, you can create a new post, blah, 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 blah. New post. You can pop your artwork in there. You can give it a tag. Make sure it's on the Feedback Friday tag. Add your artwork, add your game, whatever it is that you're sharing, and pop it into the Discord. We probably won't get to it today. Absinthe, yes. We probably won't get to it today, but because there's just so many. There's just so many to get through. But we will get there eventually. Mechs don't have hair, so they are bald. No, more bald. They need to be more bald. Okay, she's a small goblin from the Wandering in book series. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just winging everything. She's holding a dagger and a gemstone. This is really cool. Check this out, everybody. First character drawn from imagination. Very nice. Great art. Hype in the chat for this great goblin. Hype in the chat. I think from drawing something for your first time from imagination, this is fantastic. I think you've done a great job. Looks like a small goblin child or something standing there. Well, I actually like the pose. I was initially going to mention the pose and maybe it could use something a bit more dynamic, but actually I kind of like it. I kind of like how unassuming it is. What up, Juho? Your hello response there. Little goblin demon. Yeah, really good. I think keep it up. Keep it up. That's my advice. Keep it up. Keep going. If you want to learn more and if you want to improve your pixel art, then just look into the techniques, you know. Look into the techniques and try and apply them. I think you have been, because from this I can see that you've basically got pixel perfect lines, so you're obviously aware, or maybe not aware, of what you were doing, but if you were, then you've got no jaggies, maybe a jaggy there, some doubles in places. You might want to check out the techniques, and if you want to learn that's going to help you improve. And when you can decide then when you want to and when you don't want to use those techniques, you know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing wrong with that. But other than that, just keep making stuff. I think keep making stuff. Anyway, next, post a submission to play on stream. This person, English is not that good, but I like. Is this person even on the Discord anymore? Give me a second. Let me do some research. If this person isn't on the Discord, I'm just going to delete that post. They waited too long. Yeah, I don't think this person is even on the Discord anymore. Hold on. Yeah, this person isn't even on the Discord anymore, so I'm just going to delete that post. There you go. You don't get feedback if you're not on the Discord. It's as simple as that. Get wrecked. Next up. Posting and leaving. Yeah. Post and Ghost. Next up, let's find it. Get wrecked. Here we go. First sprite, which do you prefer and why? This is by Declan. First ever pixel art piece. Tried creating a mouse character, inspiration pictures shown, but I'd like to know which sprite design people like most. Any, all feedback welcome, thank you. I went back and forth with elements and I'm pleased with the current final version. Tried sticking to a limited color palette, but now ensure if it's too muted. You're colorblind, so often difficult to work out if something is just me or not. Oh, that must be really difficult. I struggled with the tail as they're typically light, but I had to decide between thin or light due to having an outline. I also had to stop it looking like a grossly mutated arm. Common problem. Is the tummy area too plain? How could it be improved? My eventual goal would be to create multiple mice for characters and NPCs. Any tips on having a template and differentiating multiple similar characters would be helpful. Anything else that sticks out or could be improved? Thanks. Oh, okay. These are all awesome. Hold on, wrong one. These are all awesome. First of all, I like the array of different mice that you've got going on. I actually think these could be different characters. Like, look at this one here. Like 3A and 2A, that's like Pinky in the Brain. Maybe if you had like different colors, they could actually be like Pinky in the Brain. Pardon me. No worries, Juho. Thanks for hanging out today. I think these are dope. I think these are really cool. Array of different mice. It is. I think Soultunes has a pretty big backlog, to be fair. I've seen some of these posts from a while back. Yeah, there is a backlog. There is a huge backlog, which is kind of good because I was talking about this before. At least we have things to give feedback on. In the past, we had a problem where there was actually no more work to give feedback on. So I might change the way feedback is submitted. Not sure. Not sure. Because as you've seen, we've had people who have just left. and maybe they needed feedback at the time or something. I don't know. Oh my God, my throat. My voice is going. No! Ah! When is Drink Front Monday? I don't know. You're working so hard to submit something soon. Don't worry, we'll get to it in about 5 years then, maybe. 2E is my favorite. Yeah, I like 2E. I like 2E because of the small eyes. I like 3D. It just depends, doesn't it? These depend, I guess, next on background. I think all of these mice are nice. I think all of the concerns that you've got, I don't necessarily think they're really concerns. Like, is the tummy area too plain? No. I think if you were to add more detail to the tummy area, I think if you were to add more detail to the tummy area, you might risk making it too complicated and it not reading very well from a small size. Are you streaming on Twitch? Yeah, we're dual streaming right now. Dual streaming on Twitch and YouTube. You can't see the chat because Twitch doesn't allow that, unfortunately. Twitch doesn't allow you to merge chats. You know, it doesn't allow you to do that. There are small differences. There would definitely be different characters. I agree. Slight color variations. Yeah, I mean, I think this is just for one character. So they've just gone through. What I really love about this is the fact that you've gone through the process of iterating. And now I think, as you can see with what the chat is responding with, you're going to get people who have different preferences, you know, and it really just depends on what your goals are and what you like the most. So just pick one. Just pick one that you like the most. Doesn't matter what chat thinks, really, about your character. Pick one that you like the most. And then go with that one. Give them different shirts, yeah. Because these could all be characters, I think. These could all be characters. The fact that you've went through iteration, that's amazing. So keep it up. Keep it up. I want to see more mice. And I like the fact that you've gathered. What did this person do, folks? Gathered reference. Very cool. Very cool. Easy win. Easy win. Spoke about on stream. Nice process. Iteration and reference. Legend. Refer to reality. That's what I like to see. Even cartoony. Even looking at cartoons to see how they've simplified mice. This person knows how to art. Art being subjective, yeah. Okay, bot. Game on itch.io, playable on web. Let's go, finally. Finally, a web-based playable game with a cute-looking character. And my goodness, amazing-looking animations. Let's go and check it out. What did they say in their feedback thing? I'm working on this game for over a year now, finally in the demo stage where people can test the game. I would love to hear from some feedback from you. Is it good, boring, too hard, visual, have fun playing? Let's go. B-O-T. This reminds me of Buzzed, which just came out. Just immediately, the game reminds me of BZZT, which just came out. You might want to have a look at that and make sure you can differentiate, because I believe it did fairly well. And obviously, Buzzed is amazing. But this is what it originally reminded me of: a little robot character platformer. Anyway, and I think it's because the character looks fairly similar. Is there a picture of the character here? Buzzed is not doing so well sales-wise. Is it not actually? Oh, I thought it was doing okay actually. But you can see the character looks fairly similar. I guess it's just a robot with eyes. There's not much. What else can you do? How else can you differentiate that? I understand. But anyway, let's play it. Let's see if it's fun. B-O-T. No dot after the T. Yeah, I don't know if that is a thing. If you need to do that, I don't know. Check this out. I mean, I can imagine why Buzzed or any platforming game I don't think is going to do so well sales-wise. Really? Because you need something super, super unique. I don't even think my game will do that well sales-wise. You need something crazy unique to stand out in the platforming genre these days, because it's flooded. It's actually one of the worst genres to make a game for. If you haven't seen I'm muted, my bad. So what I was saying is 2D platformers. There's a person who does like how to market games on Steam. And if you haven't seen that, then it's basically this giant... Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Game genres. Exploration of the meaning of the universe, and he's muted. Yeah, sorry folks, you're just going to miss that one. What genres are popular? Making platform games are difficult because running and jumping. Yeah, exactly. So this is the little graph that I was talking about here, basically. But you can see that the correlation or the data with number of games released with the median earnings per game. And you can see here, where is it? 2D platformer. You're making a 2D platformer. There are so many 2D platformers being released in comparison to other genres, and the median earnings is very, very low. So the chances of your 2D platformer standing out, and making any money is incredibly small. Doesn't mean you couldn't do it, but it's incredibly small. Chris Sikowski, correct. How does Feedback Friday work? What up, meeple? Basically, you post your work in the Discord, and we give feedback to it. There is a bit of a backlog, so it might take a little while. Might not be this week, might not be next week even, because there is a backlog of work to get through. But I will go to all of it. Add sexual content to the platform. Actually, it wouldn't help, because sexual content, there's an incredible amount of submissions. So you're actually putting yourself into an even higher pool of competition, and the median earnings are low. If you really want to stand out, make your platformer a roguelike deck builder. Make your platformer a online party game. Make your platformer a 4X game. Make your platformer a simulation or management game, or an open world survival platformer. That's how, these ones over here is how you'd make the money, not the ones over here. That's how you lose money, always. Lose money on all of these, make money on these. Just in terms of general, anyway. It doesn't mean you could never do it, but likelihood is very small compared to the stats. Anyway, let's go. Yeah, let's refresh this page. Run bot. Here we go. Let's play this game. Making a roguelike deck builder, yeah. It's good to make making it successful is hard, but it's fine even if... Yeah, it doesn't mean you have to. It just means don't expect it to do super well if you're making a platformer. Don't expect it to, like, blow up. On Steam, at least, consoles might be a different ball game. Maybe, yeah. That's Steam. Let's just... I just need to put the music down a touch. My plan for success is that my platformer isn't a platformer. There you go. Perfect. Alright, let's play. Nice little menu. It's top-down platformer. Oh, it looks great, and the menu doesn't suffer from what the other menu did. Exactly. It's got some nice hierarchy. It's obvious. I'm waiting a little bit on a black screen here. Let me just run around as the character a little bit. What does this thing say? Well, hello there, General. Wrong files. Welcome to the training facility. Press E or R1 RT. R1 RT? Right trigger? I don't know what that is. Got a little bit of lag there. Might just be because it's web version. That happens. The character's cool. The smoke follows them. The art's nice. I would probably make it so that the smoke didn't follow them. Kind of like, you know how you've got the jump one? The run smoke that you've got, like, follows them as they're running. So it looks like it's just trailing when it should probably just stay in space, just visually. You've got coyote timing, that's cool. Coyote timing, what about jump buffering? Let's have a look. Yeah, there seems to be some jump buffering there. Not a huge amount, but there is some. Let's check out corner correction. Yeah, you got corner correction. Nice. You've got corner correction, you've got coyote time, you've got some jump buffering, it seems. Overall, the platforming seems actually really nice. Feels really good. Feels really good. What's corner correction? So corner correction is when you see that little corner there. I can't do it here because I'm too short. You see that corner? When your character jumps next to a corner, it kind of like pushes the player up and around it, and it doesn't just bonk your head. Are you racing your game on console, Soultunes? Don't know. Depends how well it does, because you need a lot of money to do that. Tried making on Pixel Game once. It's hard work. Yeah, it is hard. It's very hard, William. But you tried it, right? That's good. Soul became a Platformer Concepts Pro after making a face plan. I mean, when you spend that amount of hours on something, you just learn a lot, right? You can now double jump while in the air, press jump again. Oh, let's go. Yeah, you see how like the trail kind of follows you through the air? I think that's maybe a little art inconsistency there because you can see it kind of drags. I really like the way the character's animated, first of all. I think it feels really nice. I think the character feels great, actually. The camera movement's nice. But basically, yeah, corner correction is... I'll see if I can find an area where I'll do it again. Little jump pads. Here, I'll do it here. So if I jump on the corner, right, let's say that the character's hitbox is like... I believe it's easier for a game to be successful on console, but you have to spend more. I mean, it's incredibly expensive to get your game on console because you need a developer. You need a developer console, basically. You need a developer console to get it on console, or you need a publisher to do that for you. So it's not easy to get your game on console, unfortunately. Especially not with Godot. In fact, it's incredibly hard to get a game. So basically, corner correction... Corner correction is, let's say there's a box here and your character looks like this, but their collider looks like this. If there's a wall here and your character's collider just touches it, just touches the wall, it will feel really, really bad for the player. It will feel really bad for the player if they hit the corner and then move back down. So corner correction is when you hit the corner and you've got a bit of code which slides the character up as if you never hit it, and there'll be some sort of leeway on a character's collision, basically, which allows you to slide around corners. Some people get away with this by using capsule colliders, but I don't really like capsule colliders. The capsule collider is basically just like a circular collider, like that. So you'll have the automatic leeway there on the capsule collider corners. But if you're using like a square collider, then you have to actually implement it yourself. You have to implement it yourself for corners, which I've done for Faceplant. And it actually led to a couple of funny bugs, but that's okay. Okay, back to the game. Publisher and console dev kit ain't so expensive, but your games need to be a certain way, need to be verified. Fair enough. So this is wall jumping. So that's kind of felt. I want to go back there. Whoa. They've got conveyors. They've stolen faceplant, basically. Gotcha. Copied faceplant. So you just jump there. You don't have to do any direction. That's fine. I'd say the wall jump feels a little weird, I guess. For me, it feels like wall jumping... Like, I don't have to do anything. That's essentially... This wall jump here isn't really a wall jump. This wall jump is like a triple jump. Quadruple jump. It's not... Like, it feels... Like, a wall jump for me feels like you have to press the direction that you want to go in. You know what I mean? I guess that's just how my brain imagines a wall jump. Like... Celeste wall jump. I can't remember what that's like. But basically... The way it works in this game is when you're on this side of the wall and you press jump, you automatically go to that side and then you go to that side. So the only input that you need to press for wall jumping is jump. You don't have to do anything. So that way it feels more like just a double jump. You know what I mean? Double jump, triple jump, quadruple jump. That's all you're really doing. And it feels okay. I guess I'm just used to a different type of wall jump. The type of wall jump that I'm used to is a wall jump where your character slides down the wall, right? The character slides down the wall just as it does here. Thanks, Cambiz, for the sub. Your character slides down the wall, and as it's sliding down the wall, if you to jump, it jumps up. You know, it jumps up and away from the wall. If you want it to jump to the other side, you have to hold the direction that you want it to jump, or the opposite direction sometimes. Sometimes games are opposite direction to like kick off the wall, but other times it's towards the direction. And that adds a little bit of a slight mechanic to the wall jump. Just depends on what your preference is. I like that way if you can instantly bounce on touch, not when you have to wait for the character to squish to the wall. Okay, that's interesting. Just imagine the character has a triangle head. Love it. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to do wall bouncing. I'm not saying that one way is the right way. It definitely isn't. It's just... what is your preference? What's your game like? Let's see how we get on with this wall jump. Celeste wall jump is oriented by the direction you press, but if you press once, you bounce to the opposite direction. Got you. I think it feels a little weird here because your character can like notice how I'm against the wall here, but I'm not wall jumping. So like to initiate the wall jump, you need to do it. But then you don't necessarily need to. And I guess that, to me, feels a little bit inconsistent. Like, to initiate this wall jump, if I just run up to this wall, right, like that, and I jump and wall jump. If I jump and double jump, I'm not wall jumping. I'm not jumping, I'm not wall jumping. I'm not wall jumping here. However, if I just slightly move to the left, I then begin to wall jump. Like, that feels a little inconsistent to me. The wall jumping just takes like that, like just... Wall jumping like that takes less skill. I guess it just feels a little unresponsive to me. Also, the way your character's like facing directions. This is a problem I had with conveyors in Faceplant as well, where basically you're facing left, right? You're facing... This is a big problem I had with Faceplant. You're facing left. Originally, so when you jump onto the conveyor, so when you go on the conveyor, you're facing left. That makes sense, right? That makes sense. You're facing the direction that you face. But then you jump on the wall, and then your character faces right. And now they're facing left again. That feels a little strange. Conveyors are hard, man. I had some big problems with conveyors. Especially since, like, my character's facing right. Maybe you need two different wall animations. One which shows, because if I jump onto the wall, right, and I'm wall jumping, like that, notice how I'm sliding against the wall, yeah? But my character is facing the opposite way. But when I jump, they jump left. You know what I mean? Like, let me try and draw this. So, hard to convey. Let me show you. Hard to convey, lol. So, the wall is here, right? And there's your conveyor. Or it doesn't even matter about the conveyor. This conveyor is different. Your character, if you're facing left, yeah, when they get onto the wall, they automatically face the opposite direction. But when you jump, your character immediately swaps to facing left again because you haven't changed the character's direction. And that feels a little inconsistent. I think if you're going to have a wall jump, you could do the thing with, like Run More does it, right? I actually remember the game that I'm imagining is Juho's Run More game, where the character is facing left on the wall. You know what I mean? Conveyors seem easy at concept, but in practice they're hard. Yeah, conveyors are very difficult, yeah. Conveyors are very difficult, and mine are still broken probably. But that feels inconsistent, the way that your character's facing on walls, especially when it goes back to the conveyor. That's when I noticed it, but it's noticeable from the jump as well. Like, you see how they're jumping left, even though I'm not pressing anything? But anyway, flip X, yeah, I wish. While on the wall, hold up to wall run. Oh my goodness, don't let go. So here's a new mechanic. We all have wall running now. So you see the character like looks up, that's cool. Why does it like fling you off at the top? That's weird. I don't let go of it, but it does definitely fling you off. That's strange. It like flings you off after a certain distance. That feels a bit off. Flings you off before the end, yeah. But like towards the spikes. That's how I died the first time, because I got flung into the spikes. A certain distance, but it doesn't tell you what that distance is. You're just launched randomly. Okay, so it like flips you? Okay. That just feels a bit weird. It's doing wall jump with dash button at the same time, Mega Man. Yeah, it like flips your... Weird. I actually don't really like that because it feels like I'm not in control. It feels like I'm not in control. It feels like the game is doing something for me, and that's why I don't really like that. Okay, the game like crashed there. No problem. Strange. Okay, weird. Would it be best if it stopped the running, you had to jump yourself? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. If instead of it like launching you out like that, you just start sliding down. You know what I mean? You definitely just start sliding down. Like, slide me down there. Don't launch me out, because I don't have any control of when that happens. I don't have any control when that happens, and I don't have any visual indication or any gameplay indication of when that's going to happen. It's just random to me. Obviously, you'd have to learn the timing if you're going to do it, but it just doesn't feel very good. Just tween the speed to 0, exactly, yeah, and then just start sliding down. There's not enough control there. What does this say? While running, press down to slide. I mean, we could just walk through it. It's funny how they go to like a different size. Boom, 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 boom. What does it say? While in the air, press the dash button to dash. What's the dash button? Okay, a bit of a lag there. We have a dash here. Can we dash upwards here? I'm lagging mad. It might just be because it's web. What is that? Strange. It's lagging a little bit. Secret top left? No, I think it just takes you back down. It's like a checkpoint. It's like a checkpoint, but I think the positioning of it's not very good. It's not a very good positioning of that because I've learned how to wall run up. I'm gonna hit it, you know. I want to hit it. I want to find out what it is, and then I can just double jump up there. So that's pretty bad level design, I think, because this is intriguing. This thing on the left, it makes me want to hit it. Like there's nothing on the right that makes me want to go. I want to go there. You know, but there is this thing here which makes me want to go there, and then I can just get past the level design by double jumping up. There you go, and I don't have to use the dash at all, so I don't have to learn the dash in that point. And when I try to learn the dash here, there's an obstacle in my way that's going to kill me. So not the best way to teach the mechanic, I don't think. And there is some lag. There is some lag to the mechanic. I didn't know you could dash. Yeah, Gibbs kinda, yeah. Okay. There's so much lag when I'm dashing. I don't know. That might be like a game bug. I've broken the game. I'm literally not doing anything right now. This is the thing with platforming games. With platforming games, with a million different... I noticed this from Faceplant myself. With platforming games, it's really really hard to have like a million mechanics. So I think you've done a really good job to try and get this. This is reproducible, and the way that it's happening, this is reproducible. This is happening when I'm going down on a bounce platform in the corner. It's bouncing me, wall bouncing me into the corner. And again, this is the problem I think with your wall jumping, your wall bouncing like direction stuff that we were talking about before. The fact that I don't need to press, the fact that I just need to be against the wall a certain amount for it to wall bounce, but like the slightest other amount you don't. Like you can be like slightly away from it, for example, and it doesn't like indicate the wall jump. I think you should have to hold. I think you should have to hold the direction that you're on to be on the wall. That's going to give the player way more control. And it's just going to feel like they're in control, and you're not going to get that bug. What the heck did I do there? What the fuck? Might be due to preload or caching assets. Or the memory leak. Shift and escape. Boom, boom, boom. Thanks, I didn't know you could do that. That's really cool. Yeah, I think your wall run's a little strange. After double jump, press jump again and hold it and you will start to glide. Bloody hell. There's so many mechanics. There's so many mechanics. Do you need all these mechanics? I think they are really cool, to be honest. I think they are really cool. When they all get together, they're really sick. I think what you'll need to do, obviously, is make sure that you're teaching them slowly. Because obviously this is just a demo and it's one after the other. I think you need to introduce them in a much different way. You know what I mean? It does feel like there's a lack of control with some of these. Like, not like lack of control. What? Whoa. While in air, press down to ground pound. Another crash here. Looks like a skillful game. Yes, that's a really good response, David. Yeah, it looks like it is a very skillful based game, so your controls need to be super responsive. Oh, that's funny. I'm like wall jumping, lagging between the blocks here. Maybe a little. Maybe these just need to be like certain sizes or something. Can I get through that now? How the fuck do you get up there then? At least it's a game based around control sequences rather than just being several buttons doing different things. Yeah. It's a cool game. Like, don't get me wrong. These are just like small things that you'd need to do to make the game. How the fuck do you... Oh, whatever. I passed it. Now we've got rockets. Yeah, I don't like the wall jumping. Where the fuck's my character? Oh, we did it. Yeah, the wall jumping is trash, man. I'm not gonna lie. These walls, good to see outside background for a bit, and then grey background, yeah. What's this? While in the air, hold hook button. Jesus. What's the hook button? Yeah, there's a bit of a... You can break the hook. You can break the hook here. I don't know what my character's doing, but they're now like upside down backward sprites, and now they're dashing downwards. Strange. Some bugs. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, so I think a lot of cool mechanics, they need to be polished, obviously. Because I've broken the hook now. I think it's because you have so many, like... There's so many mechanics that it's just like... It's like screaming. It's like screaming. Your code is screaming. Just run me up the wall, will you? Dude, I hate those. I hate those. Those feel terrible, personally. Waiting in a platformer as fast as this. Waiting in a platformer as fast as this will always feel slow. Like you're going from the top thing about your game is how fast it feels, and I can imagine that. What are you waiting for? I guess you could just do that. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is going on here? Am I spinning? Strange. Yeah, I think they just need polish. I think they just need mad polish. Mad polish and like teaching them slowly. Because when it what the fuck? When it just feels like buggy. It feels buggy. Feels very buggy. What is this thing? Guess that's warning. That's cool. Feels buggy. Overall. Like, amazing. Don't get me wrong. Feels amazing. Game is very fast-paced. The controls are nice. The mechanics are cool. But right now, it just feels buggy. Buggy and a lack of control in some areas. What does this say? While near a fence, press up to start climbing the fence. Cool. The art is sick. Yeah, the art is cool. What's going on, RP? How are you doing today? Okay, I don't think I need to play much more of this. What would be cool here is... You see how this is just a general platforming thing? But this is the only place where when you're going right, the camera is... When you're going right, the camera is... The camera is far to the right. You know what I mean? We should see what's on our right, especially if you've got something there. Death animation at speed is very cool. Is this stream family friendly? I tried to make it family friendly, but sometimes I got a sailor mouth, and I do apologize for that. Cool. Some more cool mechanics. What does this say? Near a box, press Q to pick up a box. I don't have a Q. I don't have a Q. I don't have a Q. Hook, slide, dash, throw, pickup. Okay. I don't think my pickup works. Yeah, it should point ahead, yeah. My pickup button doesn't work. I'm using an Xbox controller. Yeah, I'll have to press Q. Okay, I'll probably leave it there. But overall, what I played, very cool. Feels like every room has a wonder power. I think it's just because it's a demo, right? I think it's just because it's a demo, and It's just because it's a demo and it's showing off everything about the game. But overall, I think it's really good. Overall, I think it's very good. I'm going to say play it on stream. Overall, I think it's very, very good. I think you've got a lot of cool... mechanics. I think it could be really fun, fast-paced platforming game. I think, unfortunately, marketing-wise, you have the same problem that every other platformer has, is there isn't anything which really hooks you in too much. Although I do like the amount of mechanics there, I don't think that would be enough for people to go, holy shit, this is the... Oh, I already swore. Sorry, Nixon. I said it was... I tried to be family friendly. I lasted about 30 seconds. Sorry, everyone. Apologies. I'll put an F in the chat for the fail, everyone. F in the chat. Come on. Like, comment, unsubscribe. Why not? Unlike, dislike, discomment, unsubscribe. Apologies, folks. My goodness. Right, next up. F for forbidden swear words. F tunes. I know. Could go on last 30 seconds. What about point and click adventure? What do you mean? Is there a point and click adventure? I don't see point and click adventure. I see only yeast beasts. Oh, is point and click adventure hard to sell? I hear lots of devs say, I don't have a hook, but the story will be very good and original. What do you think of that? Well, I can't answer that, but Chris Zakowski can. Chris Zakowski. Hold on, I've got two questions at once. Here we go. Let's have a look. Let's learn together, shall we? Gonna work or what? So I don't see any visual novels, I guess. Point and click is a genre. Is it a visual novel or is it like its own thing? Story rich, that's RPG. I don't really see point and click on here. I don't see point and click on here. However, I would imagine, right? I would imagine that point and click is very niche. Point and click is very, very niche. I don't have the data to tell you whether it would do good. Here's the thing though. Here's the thing with this. And anyone wondering. Yeah? Here's the thing with this and anyone wondering what game they should make. This is important. This is important if you're a publisher, want to make money type person. However, let's say you try to optimize this and you try to make a rogue. Let's say you're like, okay, well, I'm just going to focus on making money. I'm going to make a roguelike deck builder. Woohoo! The chances of you making a very, very good roguelike deck builder, if you never played a roguelike deck builder, you don't care about roguelike deck builders, you're not passionate about roguelike deck builders, what's the chances of that? You know? It's like me making a 4X game. I never play 4X. I never play 4X type games. So even though the median earnings for those types of games are... Even though the median for those types of earnings is higher among other ones compared to 2D platformers, I just like 2D platformers. I guess the thing to understand here is just understand that you're in a saturated market. And that's what I understand. I understand that Faceplant is in a saturated market. It's a 2D platformer. You know what I mean? Exactly as missed. I can't imagine working on something I don't enjoy. So ignore this, really. It's nice. It's a nice little bit of data set. It's a nice data set to go like, oh, look, I'm probably not going to make any money. And once you can understand that, that's fair. Especially if you're making a 2D platformer, 3D platformer, battle royale, or puzzle game, or whatever. You're probably not going to make any money. However, never worked in retail. I currently work in retail. I currently work in retail. So that argument is invalid. Your argument is invalid. You can try, because try it, RP. Try making a game in one of those popular genres. I could probably guarantee more that you wouldn't make money. I could guarantee more that you wouldn't make money because you're chasing something based on monetary gain and not what you're actually passionate about. Eventually, it's going to bite you in the butt, you know? Games especially are so difficult to make. Like, what did Visca say before? Visca said when we were playing that game, you've played so, I think it was Visca, you've played so much, you've been working on Faceplant so much, you just know everything about 2D platforming base mechanics. I love 2D platformers. I love them. I think they're great. They're amazing games. They're super fun. So you're going to learn about your genre of game that you're making for more specifically than anything else. You know what I mean? Games are so difficult to make, and on top of that, games are so difficult to make money from. So if you're trying to get into games to make a quick buck or to make money, you're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place. It's an incredibly saturated market, like Angler Digital says. The quality of your game and the uniqueness of your game to make money has to be insane for you to make some money. You know what I mean? Don't think that you're going to make the next Flappy Bird. Because the chances are, as you've seen, it's very, very unlikely. Free-to-play mobile games? No, tried it. I've tried it. Released a free-to-play mobile game. Doesn't work. Very difficult. Doesn't work. There's too much to it. The games is not a games is not a get quick rich. Oops, get rich quick. Can't spell scheme. It's not. It's not. Making games takes a long time. There's a lot to do with games. Just to put ad on every click. Okay, what's your click-through rate? If you put ads on every click, it will reduce the player retention. If you reduce player retention, you're going to increase the cost per... you're going to increase the average revenue per... You're going to decrease your average revenue per user. If you decrease your average revenue per user, the amount of money that you can put into advertisements for getting your people to... The balance between the cost per install and the average revenue per user will be off because you've spammed them with ads. So people are playing your game less, the retention is lower, so you have a lower average revenue per user. This gets fucked up. You can now no longer make money from your mobile game. It is not easy. If it was easy, all of the big companies would be doing it. It is not easy to make a freaking mobile game and just make money from it. I've tried it. I've tried it. Me and my friend have tried it. I don't like mobile games. I love mobile games. I love them. I think mobile games are, unfortunately, I'm here for the sales and marketing class. What up to the galaxy? I think mobile games are unfortunately misunderstood because of the way that the mobile game economy works. It's not mobile games that I hate, it's the mobile game economy. That's the bad shit. Because mobile games, right, when I was a kid, I had this little device. And I could fit it in my pocket, yeah? And I could play games on it. And I could play games on it for hours. And they were very basic pixel games with incredible stories and huge amounts of gameplay length time. That little device was called the Game Boy. And the Game Boy is absolutely incredible. I now have in my pocket an even smaller device, which is 10 bajillion, not technically related, 10 bajillion times more powerful than this Game Boy. And it can run games even more powerful than the Game Boy ever could, with more colors, technical advancements going crazy. So why are the games so shit then? Apologies again, family-friendly stream. So why are the games so bad? And it's because of the horrible tactics of making money through mobile games. Like, why do we not have more Game Boy games? Why do we not have higher quality games like Game Boy games on mobile? And it's because the mobile platforms like the App Store and the Google Play Store, they require, in order to make money through them, you have to do all these predatory practices, right? You have to do all these predatory practices, what I was talking about before. So you have your players, yeah? I know this because I made a mobile game, and me and my friend went to the mobile game publishing conference, and we spoke to publishers, and we learned all about this. And it's very, very difficult to find the good ones. As Featherwalk says, they exist, they're just hard to find within the crap. And that's because the crap is pushed to the top. The crap is pushed to the top because they make the most money. Why do they make the most money? It's because the cost per install is lower than the average revenue per user. Once you have this statistic, what does this mean? So cost per install, right, is your cost per install is when you run an advert for your game on social media, on Facebook, on Google Ads or whatever. This will say, so that you're scrolling on your phone, you see a little thing, play my game, lol. You're spending a certain amount of money as a developer, as a publisher. Thanks for subscribing, Alex. You're spending a certain amount of money as a publisher or developer to get someone to install your game through advertisement campaigns. Let's say that's £1, right? Lee Dang, what's going on? Let's say that's £1. If your average revenue per user, what does that mean? Your average revenue per user is how much revenue you make on your game per user. Very simple, right? If your average revenue per user is greater than your cost per install, you are printing money. You're literally printing money. And that's how all of the big game publishers work today. Because they will put in £5 million, right? Or $5 million, let's say, into an advertisement campaign. And if their cost per install is £1 and their average revenue per user is £2, they've just made £1 off every single person who installs their game. So they've just made $10 million just by running a $5 million advertisement campaign. Obviously, this is very simplified. This isn't like the nitty-gritty details. It's not that easy, obviously. But that's the general principle, is from what I learned anyway. And I could be wrong. This was back in 2020. When I last checked it out, it could have changed a lot since then. And I'm not super updated to it all, so please take that with a pinch of salt. But generally, that's how it works. And the app stores, right, which a lot of people don't know either, the app stores will push games which are popular and they're doing well financially, because then the app stores take a cut of the finances, in-app purchases. You know what I mean? It takes a cut of the purchases. So why would they push a little indie game which is absolutely fantastic if it doesn't make any money? They're not going to do that, which is why the mobile app stores are much harder to make cool games. You're right, it's literally how it calculated. Cost of marketing campaign divided by number of installs. That period is cost of acquisition. Thanks, Swisher Snake, for confirming that. It also means that if you're not performing extremely well, your game is useless. Exactly. We had publishers, when we made Pixel Pirate, we had publishers. That's how Mafia works. This is how Mafia works. Misaligned incentives for quality games to rise. Exactly. Exactly. Late Dango, thanks for subbing. What up, GM Peck? How are you doing today? Because of ads, there's definitely a reason people think mobile games. Yeah, because it works. It works, Spinny. It works for those big companies. So if you have no ads and no microtransactions, they won't push your game. Yes, basically paid for games are dead. Paid for mobile games are dead. However, there are a couple that still manage to get through the cracks. Like, I'm playing one at the minute called Desert Golfing. So I love mobile games. Like, I absolutely love them. I just don't like... It's just impossible to find the good ones. It's impossible to find the good ones. Desert Golfing is good. I enjoyed Hop and Helm for what it was. It was very nice, casual experience. I really liked Wall Kickers. I like Sprint RPG. I like something else. Talaba, what's going on? 1 month from being golden. Let's go. I've got a bunch on my phone. Let me check them out here. What else we got? We got Saw Blades. Slight chance of Saw Blades. I really like that one. There are a bunch of good mobile games. It's just that there are a bunch of bad mobile games that get hidden, basically. There's obviously Minute, Downwell, all the other typical, like, you probably know about those because they're Devolver games. But yeah. But basically, it's hard. It's hard to make a mobile game that works well. Because when we made Pixel Pirate, right? It's also based on, like, the performance that Dom was talking about. There's a bunch of bad Game Boy games, true. When it comes to retention, like player retention is huge with mobile games. If your game does not retain players for like a week or like a couple days to a week, like they always look at, I believe it's like your 24-hour and your 7-day retention and stuff like that. If that sucks, your game's gonna die because the apps aren't gonna push them. The app stores aren't gonna push them anymore. It's really hard to make a good game on mobile, like incredibly hard, like ridiculously hard. It's definitely not, I'm going to make a game on mobile, become rich. That just isn't the thing. Mobile game does not necessarily equal rich. It's difficult. All you need is one whale to compensate for the 400 other players that don't, 400 others that don't pay. Yeah, you do. That will increase your average revenue per user massively. Time to create a gacha game. Netflix has been publishing good non-free. Yes. There's a couple of alternatives for publishing. One that I really like is Pokey. I like Netflix. I met the Pokey people at that conference. And I remember speaking to them and thinking, that's such a great idea. And Pokey's good because you don't need to install an app. And that's a big problem with mobile games as well. Where it's a big problem with mobile games because let's say your game is like 100 megabytes or something, and someone needs space on their phone. The first thing that they're going to delete is your 100 megabyte game compared to something else. So size matters, performance matters. There's obviously a million different types of devices with different performance qualities. They have different screen resolutions. You get phones which now flip, phones which are fat and short. You have like getting your screen resolution to work for all of those is a nightmare. It's not easy. And also you're taking people's data. If you're putting advertisements in your mobile game, you're messing with people's data. So you need to make sure you have privacy policies in place. You need to make sure you're getting lawyered up. It is not cheap and it is not easy to make a mobile game. It's difficult and it's expensive. Gabriel, what up? Thanks for the sub. Good input is hard to manage, not as bad on iOS. Android need to support 3,000 devices. Yeah. Changing SDKs, OS versions, to name a few things, David. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the reason we couldn't continue supporting Pixel Pirate, because there's so much that you need to update. People think that you just upload an app and you're good to go. But there's so much you have to keep on top of. There's so much. In Russia, they have Yandex Games app where you play the mobile games online. It's not the best in its current shape, but I love the concept. That sounds kind of cool. That's what Pokey is. Yeah, Pokey's an online game distribution. And actually, I've heard some very good things about it. And I'll probably release a small game on there in the future as well. This is Pokey. But basically, look, Temple Run. You can just play it on here. It's got ads on it. It's cool. It works on your mobile. It works on your computer. Works on your mobile, works on your computer. It's really cool. Whee! And you don't need to install any apps. You can just play games at any times. What's the base resolution of my game? Base resolution of my game, 16 by 9. Dead. Wrecked. But anyway, let's get back to feedback, shall we? Bim, 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 bim. You should clip some of this mobile game chat for shorts. Probably will, yeah. Sounds like a nightmare. It is, yeah. It can be. I think yours is next. I think we're on to Yeast Beast. The ears feel too static. Yes. Make them move with the body. I think we've already seen this. Finished version. Yeah, we've already seen this. This one's cool. This is RP Ravella. Let's go. Yeah, we've seen that one. I think the final version looks cool, Yeast Beast. Keep it up. I'm trying to convey a happy face. I was told my first attempt, not shown this post, came off creepy. So I reduced the size of the eyes as shown in these two images. You can see in the post. I could use some pointers. Feedback is much appreciated. Okay. I think you have conveyed a happy face. I should be careful what I say if these will be shorts. Don't worry. None of your... I will cut out anyone's like usernames. If I'm going to make shorts, I try my best not to have anyone else's information in them. Like, so no usernames will be mentioned as much as I possibly can. And none of your opinions will be mentioned as well. So don't worry about that. If I do mention anyone, I'll verify it with you first before I even post anything. Because, like, you're not choosing to have that information out there, right? So... you don't want it to blow up and you lose your job. I certainly wouldn't want anyone to lose a job or whatever over something you said, just conversating that you normally would at the water cooler at work anyway. So if anyone's names or anything is mentioned in a short while I'm making it, I will contact you. I will send you the short and I'll go, what do you think about this? Are you happy with me to post this? If you say no, I will not post it. I did shrink the ears since, but is it creepy? Like, are the eyes too large? Something off? I don't think so. Does it have appeal? I think it has appeal, yeah. I think it looks cool. I'll take the free publicity. Saying things in 2023 be rough like that. At the same time, it's true. It's true, GMPEC. Saying things in 2023, it is rough. And I worry about that massively when I make shorts and I make videos and I stream. Because this is all like... this is uncut, you know? This is just me live. You got to be careful what you say, definitely. But I'd hope that people would be understanding that... I'd hope that people would be understanding that you also are just a human being. Like, I'm just a human being. I get things wrong all of the time. I love mobile games and I love my job. Thank you. Yeah, I'll just censor that. Your name is now Dom3D, okay? Eyebrows could be raised a bit to emphasize the jaw. Yeah, maybe. Let's try it. We've only got 1 pixel left of space. So I'm just going to try and do it 1 pixel space, like there. Maybe you could do it a little bit higher. If they were truly happy, there is another thing that you can do, but I'll do that in a minute. Yeah, I think maybe higher, slightly higher. That's cool. Thanks, Soul. You're a good man. Make them ball. We need the like Mario storm music for that. You're only truly happy when you're bald, my friends. Remember that. Don't know why that hair's coming from. Thanks for the new profile picture, folks. Appreciate it. Got a new icon. Thanks, RP. Love it. You did that in like 3 brush strokes. I mean, all I did was remove some hair. What up, Frumius? How you doing today? Bit of the sides. Hold on, I got darker eyebrows. And I got like little whole ears. Like Art Golf, par 5. Par 5. That's amazing actually. I bet that could be a game. Art Golf. Instant Max Paint 3. Love it. Right. Although you need the gap teeth. SpongeBob teeth. Hold on. Yeah. Bit chilly today. It is cold today. I was driving in the snow today. I had a driving lesson in the snow. My first ever time driving in the snow. It was cool. Oh, yep. Now I want to draw you. Too late. I already did it. Every ear has holes. Very true. Yeah, maybe I do agree with what Talaba said. I think the only thing that looks slightly off with me is maybe the positioning of the ear looks a little bit too far left. I'd probably bring it in just a touch forward and maybe have a bit more hair on the back there, like 1 pixel worth of hair maybe. Or not maybe around the back, but like just there touch. I think the ear just looked a little bit too far that way for me. Maybe a little big as well. Just proportionally, the ear goes down to about the bottom of the nose, you know? Ear goes down to about the bottom of the nose, so try and keep what I've done there is notice how it goes to the teeth there. So I've just pushed it up there to the bottom of the nose, kind of. And your top of the ear goes to the eyebrows, or you can see here, top of my ear goes to about my eyebrows, but since the eyebrows are raised now, and we raised them even higher from Talaba's suggestion, we've pushed them there. Another thing is, because this character is like 3/4 view, I'm going to push this along one more pixel. Because it's at an angle, right? It's at an angle. It's like this. Remember? And it's wrapping around the head. So this eyebrow on this side will be slightly shorter. You don't have to do that with everything, but I think maybe just the 1 pixel here would look nice. Like that. And there you go. Fixed it. But also make them bold. Quick question. If you redeem feedback with 10k points, how would one go about showing you what they want feedback on? You can't if you're banned from the Discord. It has to be on the Discord, fortunately. If you want to get unbanned, you have to go through the unban process before that. And it would just be a waste of the 10k points. Beerback changing username. Tabalabalaba. But if you redeem points, I mean, yeah, you just lose the points. But my fee is 20k ball points. Edge of the ear also, the light. Yeah, the light. That's a good shout. This light here, probably get rid of that. Depends where your highlight's coming from. Like, you have one highlight on the nose. You don't really need the highlight on the ear, because what that highlight on the ear is doing there, this big highlight on the ear, that's a really good shout there, Majd. This highlight on the ear, you're creating a lot of contrast here. Creating a lot of contrast between your light and your dark with the ear, and that's making this stand out a little bit too much, I think. Especially when you look at it at the small size and the little preview there. So what you can do is just remove that. Hold on. You just remove that, really. And it's going to make the ear stand out less, which is kind of a good thing. Because it's going to then fit more. You know what I'm saying? Now you're looking more towards the eyes, because the eyes are now the highest point of contrast. The light is gone, the current version, you could have said. No worries. Looks great overall. I think you did a great job. Thank you so much for sharing. Right, well, let's do one more, folks, because it's 2 hours and I gotta bounce. Right. Next up, mech design. Check it out. I am making today's daily challenge. It's my first, I think this is Adin. What's up, Adin? Your first self-made drawing. I would like some specific feedback on the legs, though. Also, general feedback on the design or anything else. Mechs are a good starting point because they're pretty much just made of a bunch of simple shapes. That's exactly, pardon me, what I was going to say. Pardon me. Mechs are just simple shapes. And simple shapes are really hard to draw. Simple shapes are really, really hard to draw. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so when you're coming to draw simple shapes, mechs, anything like that, the thing that's going to help you out is just drawing in perspective, yeah? Drawing in perspective. Like, I see you've drawn the shapes here, and you've actually done a really good job of it, I think. What's going on, Goeldine? Hello, welcome to the stream. Every real-life mech has simple shapes, yes. Every single one. There's no complex shapes ever. What was I going to say? Perspective's going to help you out a lot with the issues that I see here, which is kind of, it's like a foreshortening kind of issue you've got going on. Overall, a very, very, very good job. Another set of missiles and you have Pee-wee from Total Annihilation. Let's go. Just do it. Perspective's going to help a lot because it is basic shapes. Because mechs are basic shapes, you can't hide from perspective. You can't hide from perspective as much as you can with organic shapes. So definitely draw with perspective in mind. You'll obviously have to draw out all the perspective grids and guides like that. We spoke about this about 1 million times on stream, so I'm not going to go fully into how you would do that. But if you want to know how you do that, let me go into that fully. So basically, you could place the feet points, right? Feet positions, and then start to build up from there. That's a very useful thing that you can do, a very useful method. Because that way you're going to get a better idea of like foreshortening and where these things are in relation to each other, where the shapes are in relation to each other. So that's one thing you could try doing to try and get the perspective there. Period looks totally different. Oh my god, Talaba. Does this apply much to pixel art? Depends on how big your pixel art is. Goreldean. If you're doing very small pixel art, I think applying perfect perspective with a grid is going to be not so easy, and instead you're going to be relying more so on like adding depth with like color or shadow, really, rather than adding depth with perspective if you're using very small pixel art. So I wouldn't worry about that too much if you're doing small pixel art. But in terms of 2D art or digital art like this, or larger pixel art sizes, then your perspective is going to be key. And you can improve your perspective very, very simply by simply studying perspective. And guess what? I think perspective is one of the easiest things to study. I think you can learn it in a week. Less than. I think you could learn it in a couple of days with a little bit of study. I think you could learn it in a couple of days. Because all you really need to know, there's a lot to do with perspective, but all you really need to know is how do you do 1 point perspective with some basic shapes. And it's very, very simple. You have 1 point and you draw a 2D shape on there, and then you just follow the lines. And there you go. You now have, there we go. Let's do a triangle this time. Triangle shape. Let's follow the lines. There you go. You've now drawn in perspective, 2D. That's simple. The two point perspective is simple as well. A couple things to remember here. There are now 2 points with vanishing points, not just one. So this is going to be like this. Bing, bing. And then you just draw and follow the lines. Square. But remember, it's not a 2D shape this time that you're drawing on it. It's following both of the lines. You know what I mean? We could do something like this. Follow the lines. There you go. You got yourself a little city or something. Very easy. What if I'm using non-Euclidean geometry? What does that mean? Do you mean crazy shapes? Do you mean crazy shapes? Okay, so you mean crazy shapes. Crazy shapes like spheres, hyperbolas, can all be simplified into Euclidean geometry, basically. So circles, spheres, right? Cylinders. A cylinder is essentially just a box. This is how we spoke about this a couple times as well on stream. A cylinder is essentially just a box, and you're applying the same perspective rules, and then you're just wrapping it around. So how can I show this? I actually saw something really useful today for this. I saw something really useful by Alfonso Dunn. So imagine you have a cube, or a cube from the front, and I draw horizontal lines across it and vertical lines. So there we go. Now if I take that cube, and it is a cube, by the way, you just can't see the back plane, and then I rotate it, and now it looks something like this. This is from Alfonso Dunn. The face is still the same, but the angle at which you'll draw them is different, so that it matches the angle, okay? Now, imagine that, but with a crazy shape like this. Okay? It's exactly the same principle. It's just a slight degree of difficulty each time. So you do that, there'd probably be more in the middle here, and it would stretch out, and then the lines would wrap around like that. So actually non-Euclidean or crazy shapes is not that much more difficult. If you can do the basic boxes and then just warp them slightly, you can do circular shapes, cylindrical shapes, non-Euclidean crazy shapes. Crazy shapes is the technical term, yes. Use LSD shader, gotcha. Yes. Get someone else to do it. Do AI. Use AI. There you go. After all, our eyes can only see in 2D. It's a box with Blender's shader smooth filter, yeah. Just put a filter on top of it, it'll be fine. Is it the same as doing form, basically? Yes. Yes, GMPEG, yeah. Clips you appear to some nice perspective rulers. It does, I never use them. Let's go 8-point perspective, yeah. Hold on. It's easy to learn and it's fun, to be honest, if you don't get super into the weeds with it. If you practice with doodles, you can learn quick, not full illustrations. Yeah, just do basic stuff. Just do basic stuff. I think it goes the same with everything. Make basic games, you'll make better, bigger games. Make basic paintings, you'll make better, bigger paintings. Make basic perspective, you'll do better, bigger perspective. Because it's like, here's complexity in art and making things, right? I think I think the scale turns from, I don't think the actual concept is that hard. I don't think it takes that long to, what becomes hard is applying the concept. What becomes the difficulty is the patience required. Like, if you can render a circle or a sphere, for example, and you can render it and you know the light, you know that there's a highlight, you know that there's a core shadow, you know that there's bounce light, and you know that there's two different sides of the light on here, and that the bounce light, even though its light is darker than the light sides split up into 3 different lights, like the really high lights, the mid values, the darker values of the lights. If you know all of that, the occlusion shadow, if you know the cast shadow, if you know all of that, and you know then the different materials and how reflections work on different materials, you won't have a highlight like that. You'll have something which is a bit more sparsed out. If it's more of a like matte object, for example, and or the surface is rough, you know, you're not going to have super bright highlights. If you can do that, you know everything that you need to know. You know everything that you need to know to paint something with light and shadow and form. And especially if you can understand different materials and how they convey light and shadow and reflect light. The only thing that becomes difficult from that point on is doing it to a bigger piece. Doing it to a bigger piece with lots of different interactions. But it's the same thing. It's the same knowledge that you had here. It's just that you're doing it on a grander scale, you know? It's like you do a game jam. It's like the difference for those game devs out there. You do a 2-day game jam, yeah? And then you do it for 2 years. that's what a big game is like. That's what it's like. It's the same thing, except you do it for 2 years instead. 2 things I've learned about art just recently: less is more and don't tense up. If you just relax, it's easier to draw, even if it's not exactly what you want. Sometimes mistakes are good. So I try to put immense detail in everything, put attention to what, yeah, just chill, have fun. You found a really good course on digital water paint, by the way. Oh, really? Share it with me. I'll check it out. Put it on the Discord or something, in inspiration, or send it to me. Definitely. Definitely. But yeah, I think your mech is really good. I think perspective's going to help you out a lot there, Adam. And on that note, my friends, I'm going to end it there. I appreciate, what the heck? I appreciate you all hanging out today. I think we've had a good Feedback Friday. I think there's been some good points. I can farm some shorts from this one, definitely. And I hope you all learned something. I definitely learned some stuff. I appreciate everyone who's contributed to the conversations. I appreciate everyone who has challenged my thoughts on it and helped me learn, and for sharing your work with us so that we have something to give critique on and to learn. Keep posting your work. I was thinking about like stopping it so that people could get their work seen, but I think let's just go through the backlog. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going, folks. We got this. I'll catch you all next week. Have a great weekend. I'm back on Monday on Twitch for probably some game development. So I'll catch you all then. Thanks for hanging out, folks, for the subs, for following, everything. It was too late. Next Friday, I try again. Milcaris, you got this. You can watch the video. The video is going to be up on YouTube for anyone to watch at any time. So don't worry about that. What the heck is that? I came off my controller. David, thanks so much for hanging out, for contributing. I appreciate you. As missed, you as well, a friendo. Madge, as always, Madge, what a legend. Cambiz, thank you so much for hanging out today. Rudin, Biohazard, Go Eldeen, Talaba, Swisher Snake, Han June, Angler Digital, Dob 3D, JM Peck, Gav, TTFN. What is that? For some reason, FN just goes Fortnite for me. Fortnite, oh, thanks for talk to for now. That's all for now. TT, that's and the for now. Ta-ta for now. Got it. Got it. Frick. Tootle for new. Tootle for new. I like that one. That's pretty good. Ta-ta for now. Got you. Thanks for hanging out, folks. Peace out. Goodbye, everybody. Later. Beep. Also a new video soon, so look out for that. Let's go. Probably next week. Goodbye.